जय जय राम ओम. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम. श्री राम जय राम 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 जय राम ओम. श्री राम जय जय राम ओम. श्रीराम जय 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 राम जय जय राम ओम. जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai. So today we are in the 15th chapter. It is called the Purushottama Yoga. Actually, because we don't have this background of scripture study, we were not knowing the importance of this Purushottama Yoga. But when we went through Guru's grace, Mataji says that when she refused to come out from her inward journey, that was in Kasargod ashram, then Papa said you should practice Purushottama Yoga. That gave us some hints to understand this Purushottama Yoga. Mataji, due to severe austerities, coupled with devotion to become aware of his presence always, intensely was carrying on with whatever disciplines she was prompted. Then Papa told her that you should also take to inward journey. She expressed her desire not to do it, but when Papa insisted, she started practicing. Because of the purity of the mind, that means the me and mind has completely left her, it was easy for her to go within. the mind was not as turbulent as we all have. Because the moment we close our eyes, the mind goes out to various objects, persons, situations, our memories, our culture, so many things. But in her case, it was not at all turbulent because it was slowly receding to its own original place. So when she started practicing, if we remember right, it went on for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6, like that. Then Papa made her to come back. And then Mataji said, no, I don't want to come back. I would like to be in that realm always. Then Papa advised her, then that cannot become the comprehensive experience of spiritual attainment. Because it should not be one-sided. What is experienced within, in the form of static reality, we should equally try to experience in the dynamic reality which is outside. Was Mataji doing this in Mauna or she actually? Mauna also. Yeah, Mauna. That particular portion we will read out so that it becomes clear. As spiritual aspirant, this particular chapter is very, very inspiring. O Papa, you are without beginning and without end. Since I was absorbed in the whole night in your true being, in the morning I had not any initiative to get up or to do any work, and so I could not do your service as usual. When you pressed me to take food, I took a little of it, as I had no desire to see anything with a view to remain absorbed in you. I used to lay myself down with eyes closed. As I lost all external consciousness, I did not know how time passed, nor was I aware that I was sometimes lying down with my legs turned towards you. O infinite Papa, when you were giving me the experience of samadhi by making me sit for meditation, as the power within me reached the center of Bhruguti, my mental state was the same as when I was moving about in your service. In fact, I did not know then to what state I had reached. You made me sit for meditation with the sole object of granting the needed experience of samadhi. O Papa, the ocean of kindness, just as you are pervading every particle of my body and causing different kinds of actions in it, making me feel all the time that this body was myself and mine. Similarly, you now granted me the exalted experience that you and I are one, by raising me to a state in which you made me aware that I am the entire cosmos and beyond it. O compassionate Papa, how can I describe your real being, which is all, beyond all, without beginning, without end, immutable, static, infinite? How can I compare the imperishable being with the perishable objects? O Papa, the giver of bliss, I was in the state for several days, and when I was coming to the awareness of the external world, I was doing your service and absolutely necessary work for taking care of my body or any service of others. I was doing so in a spirit of indifference. At this time, in spite of my being immersed in your being all the time, I could not find joy in doing any work or service. I did not like to get back to the awareness of the external world from the state of obliviousness of it and the consciousness of immobility and eternity. Therefore, I was feeling that I should remain always forgetful of the body because I got so much joy in that state. You were instructing me that I should practice Purushottama Yoga, in which I would at once experience the peace of the static state and also feel side by side the bliss of movement by doing all actions by the body. This is how we were introduced to this Purushottama Yoga. That means all comprehensive. Not merely when there is an absence of thought, dwelling in that peaceful, serene, we cannot explain that great void. We should also come out of it and see the varied expressions of the manifestation. I must be able to have the same balance when I deal with men, matters, and objects and situations. The experience that I get from my inward journey should enable me to extend it even when I am active. So this is the background of this Purushottama Yoga. And the first sloka is seemingly a paradoxical theme. It says, Urdhvamulam Atashagam. The people tree having its root above and branches below, whose leaves are the Vedas, he who knows it as the Veda knower. We have never seen a tree like this, Root is below, what we have seen, branches are above. Here it says, Urdhva Moolam Atashakam. So roots are up. So this itself is a very thought-provoking. The chapter starts with a seemingly paradoxical theme, but when we ponder over deeply, the puzzle gets cleared. This imagery of an upside-down tree is a deep spiritual metaphor representing the nature of existence. Roots above. The roots symbolize the supreme reality God, which is the source of everything. Since God is transcendental and beyond material existence, the roots are said to be above, indicating the divine origin of all creation. Branches below. The branches represent the manifested world, including all living beings. These branches spread downward, meaning they are involved in material life, desires, karmic actions. The leaves symbolize the Vedas, which provide knowledge to understand history and attain liberation. So for an ordinary...
Please explain again.
Okay. This chapter starts with a seemingly paradoxical theme, but when we ponder over deeply, the puzzle gets cleared. This imagery of an upside-down tree is a deep spiritual metaphor representing the nature of existence. Urdhva Moolam. roots above. The roots symbolize the supreme reality, God, which is the source of everything, since God is transcendental, and beyond material existence. We normally apply the material existence, the norm that we see outside. But we have to recognize that spirit is beyond that. So this application will not be there. Since God is transcendental and beyond material existence, the roots are said to be above, indicating the divine origin of all creation. Branches below. The branches represent the manifested world, including all living beings. These branches spread downward, meaning they are involved in material life, desires, and karmic actions. The leaves symbolize the Vedas, which provide knowledge to understand this tree and attain liberation. Anyhow, then, let us go a little bit. Real life analogy. Think of a reflection of a tree in a lake. The real tree stands above the water, but its reflection appears inverted. Similarly, the material world is like a reflection of the spiritual realm. People get caught up in the reflected world and forget the true source, God. Application refining the mind. This shloka helps us realize that our worldly attachments are temporary and the true wisdom is found by tracing everything back to its divine source. When we refine our thoughts, words and deeds by recognizing their spiritual root, we begin to detach from illusion and align with the truth. In this chapter, it is vividly explained also as to how the indwelling reality functions in our body to make us know that everything that exists has its origin in Him only, including the light coming from the sun, the moon, the vital essence which pervades through the soil, create the sweet juices or sap in the plant, and trees, the fire in the bodies. A little more reflection will help us, We are watering the...
Swamiji, does it mean that if we have our roots firmly rooted in the superior things or in the above?
Does it mean?
Then it would be that it doesn't mean that we should have our roots firmly rooted in the superior.
He should be firmly rooted in the superior.
Yeah?
Is it that he should be firmly rooted in the superior?
That's right. In this chapter, it is vividly explained as to how the indwelling reality functions in our body. It is very important. That everything exists has its own origin in Him. Exists in Him only, including the light coming from the sun, the moon, the vital essence which pervades through the soil, creates the sweet juices or sap in the plant and trees. See, we are watering a tomato plant. And when the fruition comes, you get the juice, tomato juice. Does it have any connection with the water the quality of the water that we irrigated and the juice? It doesn't seem to be same. So there should be another power, to convert the ordinary water into a juice. That's what he says. Normally we take everything as granted. Everything as granted. So the power, how when we apply cattle manure, how the manure is converted into a plant food, and the feeder roots, how it brings from that area to the root of the tree. So how it is converted into a plant food? It doesn't go in the way in which we are applying. So Lord Krishna is drawing our attention to this. Behind anything and everything, there is a process going on about which we are not aware, because we are only bothered about the juice or what do you call it. The sun is not there, we are upset. We hardly think about how the sunlight, the sun energy, solar energy is. Nowadays we have put solar, what do you call that?
Solar
Panels. So whenever there is any rain, we will start worrying whether we get hot water, though whether the consumption will get reduced. We hardly think about the one noblest, the bounteous gift Lord Sun gives to us. Not only to us, anybody, so long as they have got a medium. All those things are explained, including the light coming from the sun, the moon, the vital essence which pervades through the soil, create the sweet juices or sap in the plant and trees, the fire in the bodies. That is the one which does the digestive organs, The digestive organs start functioning because of the fire. Jataragni, anything that we eat, how does it get digested? It doesn't remain in the same form. Assimilate all kinds of food. And then, remembering, knowledge, forgetting. All these three are also done by that power. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtam matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. Smriti jnanam apohanam. Smriti means memory. Jnanam means knowledge. Apohanam means forgetfulness. Everything is given by you, and it's a great gift. So long as the Lord of the individual soul is embodied, so long as the Lord of the individual, he enjoys through these organs the sense objects. The ignorant do not know that. He it is who leaves the body, lives in the body, experiences through the senses, because they are under the influence of the gunas who have thrown a veil over their wisdom. The awareness of the functioning of the body, mind, intellect, intertwined with the knowledge of the indwelling reality, help not to identify wholly with thoughts. Not to identify wholly with thoughts, words and deeds, and this approach results in refining them before they come out. Because our total identification with the thoughts, words and deeds, it will get arrested. Previously, I was thinking, I have planned, I have done all these things, When I start realizing that the functioning power, whatever you call it, in the body, is not me. He lists about that. The power behind that particular organ, which remembers the knowledge, which forgets, which makes our food to get digested, whatever they have. So when we are conscious of this, the awareness of the functioning of the body, mind, intellect, intertwined with the knowledge of the indwelling reality, help not to identify wholly with thoughts, words and deeds, and this approach results in refining them before they come out. The Lord describes three aspects of the divine existence. One is the individual soul or jiva, called the kshara, or the changing and perishable. The second is akshara, or the imperishable Atman, and the last is the Purushottama, who pervading all life and manifestation. Kshara, that means, Purusha, Prakriti, Purushottama. Both. The indwelling, the all-pervading, both are there. Indwelling reality is the static, all-pervading reality is the dynamic, and both are there in this. Meaning.
What's that Satsang trying to convey?
Yes, that's what we convey. No. See, there is no tree which we have seen which has got the roots above and branches below. Then why did the Lord say that? So it is symbolic. What does it symbolify? The indwelling reality is the root. Manifestations are the shaka. And it is down. Because manifestation has come because of forgetfulness of the root. I feel I am because I have forgotten the power behind it. The moment I know that the power behind it is making me to say I am, then this I am will not be a troubleshooter, because it knows only a relative, not absolute. Our problem is we are not aware of that. So the roots above means it is always there. It is the one that is there. And then the shaka is the manifestation, where everything is downpulling, all the downpulling tendencies are responsible for the creation. That is one type of explanation. Everybody can work it out. This is what we got. The chapter starts with a seemingly paradoxical theme, but when we ponder over deeply, the puzzle gets cleared. The imagery of an upside down is deep spiritual metaphor representing the nature of existence. Roots above. Roots symbolize the supreme reality, God, which is the source of everything. Since God is transcendental and beyond material existence, the roots are said to be above, indicating the divine origin of all creation. Branches below. The branches represent the manifested world, including all living beings. These branches spread downward, meaning they are involved in material life, desires, karmic actions. The leaves symbolize the Vedas, which provide knowledge to understand this tree and attain liberation. This is how it is introduced. Anyway, it is something everybody can think about it. It's a very important point on which we can try to get an answer. So in this chapter, everything. So there is three, perishable, imperishable, and the power in the both perishable and imperishable. The moment the body dies, when the decomposition starts, that means it is also lively, Something is lively there. That is why the decomposition starts. When the death comes, the body does not remain like that. So even in the perishable and the non-perishable, there is a power. Even when a fruit, when it goes beyond the date of ripening, and when it drops down, it emits a particular type of smell, after some time, which is not comfortable. We say it is perishable, but it gives a different one, there is some activity going on. So likewise we try to understand. He is there in anything, perishable, imperishable. That is why he said Purushottama. The awareness of the functioning of the body, and as we are all now trying to understand the refinement, instead of breaking our head on that. So here, the awareness of the functioning of the body, mind, intellect, intertwined with the knowledge of the indwelling reality, help not to identify wholly with thoughts, words and deeds. And this approach results in refining them before they come out. Thoughts, words and deeds, it will not come out just like that, but now it knows. These three are there. The Lord described the aspects. One is the individual soul, Jiva, called Kshara, changing, perishable. Second is the Akshara, the imperishable. And the last is Purushottama, who pervading all life and manifestation. Refining process includes skill in handling anything, which can come only if We are blessed to remember the perishable, imperishable, and the transcendent nature. We will then be to a very great extent free from attachment and the connected bondages. Priya, a stay-at-home mom, struggled to find purpose outside of caring for her children. One day she realized that her devotion to her family was an act of service to the divine. She began to see her role not as a mundane duty, but as a sacred offering. By embracing the mindset, she felt more connected to her spirituality and found joy even in the most routine task. So this chapter gives us this, no? None of us need to think that for the contentment or what do you call the fullness, we have to withdraw ourselves totally from it. No. Then it doesn't become comprehensive. I must be able to feel his presence in the static, come out of it, again try to feel his presence in the dynamic. So he is there in everybody, you know.
Somebody's somehow make your volume louder, it's not audible. No, I think we can increase. No, we can increase, but it's going extremely loud. She has reduced the volume.
Huh?
Padma is asking. Increase your volume.
Dangerous state in the situation in which he is kept us. We have to realize it. Is that so?
In this situation he has kept us, we have to realize it. Isn't that so?
In a situation he has kept us. In a situation he has kept us. We should realize God. That is what.
Correct. Exactly. It is not that no, we are going to realize God. Realize is the right word. He is with us, he has been with us. We are not aware of it. Becoming aware of it now and here. Yeah, we can interpret it like that. I don't.
With regard to the goodness, the previous chapter, so the Lord is in all the goodness, but the goodness are not in Him. So they're in Him too. Lord is the gunas, all the gunas are in God.
No. But the gunas have come from God. They are in Him. But does God have gunas too?
It is not God as gunas. This space does not have any chair. But we are putting the chair, no? It allows the chair to put anything to put here. Ultimately, if we trace the origin, gunas are also his manifestation. When he wanted the manifestation to be varied, the varied means different characteristics, uniqueness should be there. That means different characteristics should be there. That is why, theoretically speaking, it is he who has given us the gunas. But he is not the guna. Otherwise, he will also be enchained in the gunas. He has provided this to put all these things. But he is not, the space is not influenced by or limited by or conditioned by the possessions in it. Similarly, though technically speaking, gunas have come from him, everything has come from him. So all these gunas have come from him, and because of the various nature of the gunas, we become unaware of him. That is his play. But he is not affected by the gunas. So here, then we move to the next one, overcoming negative traits. Is there anything? Yes. Before we go to the 16th chapter, we thought we would also share some thoughts of Vinobaji. Just like we are now trying to focus on refining, refining, refining. Suddenly the word gets stuck. You are not getting that word. When we are, just like we are concentrating on the word refining, 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 he concentrated on something else. And that explanation is very nice. He says, it is the mutability that makes the creation perennial. If everybody is immortal, you will get bored, New things will not come. It is the mutability that makes the creation perennial. The nature of the creation is like a gently flowing stream. If a stream stops flowing, it will become a stagnant pool. The water of the river flows in an unbroken stream. It is forever changing. It is forever changing. One finds joy in something if there is newness, freshness in it. Traditional rituals have laid down that the Lord should be worshipped with different leaves and flowers and fruits in different seasons. This lends newness and freshness to the worship and makes it interesting. The children initially find the learning of the alphabet quite boring. Mastering the writing of the alphabet involves repetitive practice, and the children try to wriggle out of it. But subsequently, they become familiar with the different words and sentences and start reading books. Then they develop a taste for literature, get acquainted with various classics and masterpieces, experiences boundless joy. This happens in the realm of service as well. If the means of service are ever new, the enthusiasm for service grows and the spirit of service gets developed. Change is the order of the day, The Gita wants every action of ours to be imbued with bhakti, devotion. It is good to worship the Lord for half an hour. It is worthwhile to steady the mind and meditate on the Absolute, forgetting the ordinary worldly affairs at the time of sunrise or sunset, when the splendor of sunshine is particularly appealing. Such good habits must of course not be given up, but the Gita is not satisfied with this much only. 15th chapter, It wants that all the activities that we do throughout the day should be done in the spirit of worship. While doing everything, be it bathing, dining, sweeping, we should have the Lord in our mind. For instance, while sweeping, we should feel that we are sweeping the Lord's courtyard. All our actions should thus become acts of worship. Let the spirit be ingrained in you, then you would see how your behavior changes. When we pick up flowers for worship, we choose them carefully, put them delicately in the basket, see that they are not crumbled and remain fresh and do not even smell them. All the activities in life should be informed with this spirit. Touch of love, touch of perfection, touch of dedication, touch of gratitude. While sweeping the village roads, I should feel that I am serving the Lord in the form of my neighbors. The Gita wishes to imprint this attitude on us. It wants to see all the actions become acts of worship. Worshipping for half an hour or so does not satisfy it. The holy text yearns to see the whole life charged with the Lord's presence, with the spirit of worship. By teaching Purushottama Yoga, the Gita is bringing the life of action to fulfillment. The Lord Purushottama is the master, I am his servant, and the creation is the means for worship. Beautiful definition. He is there behind all creation, Purushottama. He has given me a sense of individuality, and I am the servant. And rest of the things are articles of worship to be given to him through his form. That is why we are transforming all our actions into this. This is what Purushottama Yoga means. By teaching Purushottama Yoga, the Gita is bringing the life of action to fulfillment. The Lord Purushottama is the master, I am his servant, and this creation is the means for worship. Once this is realized, what else is needed? Then there will be never-ending service. Nothing like I will exist and the sense of I and mine will be completely erased. Everything will be for the Lord. There will be nothing else except wearing ourselves away for the good of others. The Gita is exhorting us repeatedly to remove the sense of I and live a life devoted to the Lord. Imbue the life with bhakti. The Lord is the master, I am the servant, creation is the means for service. Then there is no question of getting encumbered with anything. Life will then be free of any worries. And from there, the lot of things are there in Purushottama Yoga. This portion also we will add in this, Vinobaji's. Now we move to chapter number 16, Overcoming Negative Traits. Key points: elevating and downpulling forces are inside us, and by becoming aware of them, hold on to the elevating ones. In our refinement, this is process, this is very important. The downpulling, tendencies are waiting for an opportunity to jump out. And what is that called? No. It incapacitates us. So within us exists both elevating and downpulling. By being vigilant and holding on to noble qualities. So he lists about 24 noble qualities. And Vinobaji again beautifully presents this. Just as the glow of the horizon proclaims that the sun is about to rise, the rise of Purushottama Yoga in life is preceded by the glow of virtues. Beautiful. You have to include this. This chapter describes this glow and also the darkness which this glow dispels. We seek concrete proof to get convinced about anything. How are we to know that service, bhakti and jnana have become part of our life? We must have some test. We toil in the field, measure the result in terms of the yield of the grains. Similarly, the progress of our spiritual quest should also be measured. We should assess our experience, see how far good tendencies have become part of our nature, and how many virtues have been imbibed, how far life has been infused with the spirit of service. This is what this chapter tells us. In this context, the Gita uses the term Devi Sampati, divine qualities, and calls the qualities opposed to them as Asuric. The 16th chapter describes the battle between these two sets of qualities. Just as the first chapter, Kauravas and Pandavas are found pitted against each other, very interesting. Here the armies of the divine and the demonical qualities have been pitted against each other in our mind. It has been the tradition to use allegories while describing the struggle between the good and the evil that has been raging since time immemorial in the human mind. There is fight between Indra and Vritra in the Vedas, between gods and demons in the Puranas, between Rama and Ravana in the Ramayana, between Ahura Mazda and Ahriman in Zoroastrianism, between God and Satan in Christianity, between Allah and Iblis in Islam. In all these religions, this fight has been described. In poetry, gross things are described by subtle images, whereas subtle feelings are described in terms of gross images in the religious text. I am not suggesting that the description of the battle at the beginning of the Gita is merely imaginary. It may have been an historical event, but the poet has used it for its own purpose. Giving the allegory of the battle, he tells us that what to do when the conflict of duties assail us. Kurukshetra, the battlefield of the Mahabharata war, is inside us as well. If you observe carefully, you will realize that it is a battle raging within the mind, which we see in the world outside in the concrete form. The one whom I see as my enemy, confronting me in the outside world, is in fact the evil in my mind that has taken concrete shape. Just as a mirror gives my true image, the good and evil thoughts in my mind have their images in the outside world as friends and enemies. I see in the dreams what I experience or think while I am awake. Similarly, that which is in my mind is seen by me in the outside world. There is absolutely no difference between the battle within and the battle without. Virtues and vices are pitted against each other within our mind. Every army both armies are in neat formations. Every army needs a commander. The virtues too have nominated a commander. He is Abhaya. The first stanza starts with Abhaya. Abhaya means fearlessness, freedom from fear. That is the first virtue. Fearlessness has been given the first place in this chapter. This has not happened accidentally, it must have been deliberate. No virtue can develop without fearlessness. Virtues have no value without truthfulness and fearlessness. Without truthfulness, and fearlessness is essential for commitment to truth. Virtues cannot develop in an atmosphere charged with fear. In such an atmosphere, they in fact prove to be wise. In such an atmosphere, even good tendencies are weakened. Fearlessness is the leader of all virtues. An army has to be alert about attack both from the front and the rear. It can be surreptitiously attacked from the rear as well. Therefore, while fearlessness is in the front, humility has been stationed at the rear. Natimanida. Abhayam Sattvasam Shuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, Danam Damascha Yajnascha, Swadhyayastava Arjavam, Ahimsa, Satyam, Akrodam, Tyagam, Shanti, Apaishwanam, Daya Budeshu, Aloluptam, Mar Kshama, Dhridi Shaucham, Adroho, Natimanida. Natimanida is humility. So fearlessness is in the front, Humbleness, humility is in the back. Therefore, while fearlessness is at the front, humility has been stationed in the rear to guard the enemy. If it is indeed an excellent strategy. In all, 26 virtues have been listed here. You may imbibe 25 of them, excluding humility, but if your ego gets inflated thereby, an attack from the rear will make you lose whatever you have gained. That is why humility has been placed at the rear. In the absence of humility, there is no knowing when victory will turn into defeat. Virtues can be developed only by keeping fearlessness at the front, humility at the rear. Most of the 24 virtues, in between them, can be said to be the synonyms of non-violence, compassion for all creatures, gentleness, forgiveness, serenity, freedom from anger and malice. All these are different terms for non-violence. In fact, all the virtues are contained in truth and non-violence. Truth and non-violence are the essence of all of them, but fearlessness and humility are in a different category. So this is how it is said. So within us exist both elevating and down-pulling forces. By being vigilant and holding on to noble qualities, truthfulness, fearlessness, humility, we ensure spiritual progress while avoiding destructive tendencies. Therefore, periodical attempts are to be made on dwelling on human values so that the mind slowly gets influenced by it and desists from thinking, talking and doing with a negative approach. This is a part of refining the mind. Raj, a corporate executive, often found himself battling negative emotions like envy and frustration. After reflecting on his inner struggles, he recognized that these emotions were. By focusing on positive thoughts and actions, he was able to overcome these self-destructive tendencies, nurturing his inner strength and choosing elevating forces that aligned with his values. So refining our mind includes vigilant about the down-pulling forces and trying to always recognize and associate with elevating factors. Yesterday we went through so many examples. So many. During our freedom moment in Bihar, in Chambal, not Chambal, what is the place? Forgot. There were indigo cultivators. So the then British government imposed heavy levy and the farmers were not in a position to pay it. A big agitation was going on. Gandhiji was contacted. So Gandhiji decided to go to Bihar. The moment this was announced that Gandhiji is landing, one of the estate owners, Britishers, they announced that if he steps on the soil, he will be shot down. So the farmers became panicky. So Gandhiji, he's a man of God, he doesn't have any fear. So when he reached there, everybody pleaded, please go back. So and so has declared that he will shoot you. Gandhiji said, don't worry, God will take care, don't worry. Somehow he pacified them. He slowly collected the address and the location of the person who declared openly that he will be shot down. When everybody retired, at 12 o'clock, midnight, Gandhiji left alone the apartment, went toward this person's residence, and the gate he tapped. Somebody opened and asked, he said, I would like to meet him on an urgent mission. So the door was tapped and this man opened. Gandhiji told him, "It seems you have announced that the moment I land you will shoot. I am available here. Nobody will come to know. I have not come to wage war with you. I have come to only to counsel you. But still if you feel that I am a problem, you can dispose me now." The way in which Gandhiji presented with absolute, free from any taint of, prejudice, biased vision, hatred, and full of love and matter of fact, the other man transformed himself. He made him to sit, then apologized for his comment. Then he said, "Tomorrow I will take steps to withdraw all the taxes." It was an impulsive act, I realized. Gandhiji coolly went back. That fearlessness, humility. We are trying to win. Gandhiji was available, If he wants to shoot him, he can shoot. Nobody will know that. He can dispose the body in any way he likes. And Gandhiji treated him as also a form of God. So through that it has come out. And through this he is also offering. And the result was the transformation. It was free from malice, free from prejudice, free from everything. It has to touch and kindle. So similarly, when we try to parade so many of such live examples, it is not a tall talk. It is not a theory. But in every chapter we will be able to get so many such examples by which we will come to know that it is practically possible. Of course, we have to raise ourselves to that extent. But at least we will know, it is possible for an individual. If it has been possible for an individual, I am also an individual. So if I rise up to that requirement, I will also be able to train that. That comes to me. So the whole exercise of going through this is to remind us that try to understand these factors through examples, as many examples as possible. We will try to fill our mind with all these positive things, so that a stage will come when there won't be anything called negative at all in our perspective. Let anything happen, it won't be negative. That stage we have to reach. We have not reached. That stage we have to reach. That is the highest form of refinement. So, tomorrow Sunday. So, day after tomorrow we can call it as our 17th and 18th final chapters. Then we will see how Papa guides us from there. Because 18th, we have briefed everything. 18th is a very, very lengthy chapter. 78, so we have only squeezed them, so that in one page we have brought it out. It doesn't mean that it only contains this. We are only looking at the refining attitude. But the same refining attitude can also become more and more clear if we apply our mind more and more on different slogas. That we can take it up later. So this first round or second round reading, this is the second round, Second round reading is now come to a close. It is going to come to a close day after tomorrow. And then let us see how Papa takes us further. The whole thing is we again repeat and repeat and repeat, so that this should not be a session. This is a course.
Swamiji? Will you be published as a book?
Published as a book form.
Later. We have not still reached that stage. This journey through the sacred text, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, has revealed that a harmonious, peaceful, productive life is possible when our thoughts, words and deeds undergo a conscious process of refinement being expressed. Each chapter of the Gita contributes valuable insights into this transformative process. We all remember our initial days in the professional field. We went to Chennai with a Malayalam background, we could complete only up to SSLC, Malayalam background, and there everything is in English. So after a month or two, when the boss asked us to reply to a letter, we said, no, we can't. He said, why? I don't have any experience. Then he said, experience will not come from the sky. Right, man? Sorry, sir, I cannot. Right. I am here to correct, don't worry. So with all nervousness, we started replying from dear sir to yours faithfully. We can only ensure that there won't be any grammatical mistake. Otherwise, the presentations, God alone knows. So we went and took our manuscript to the boss. Instead of the telling that this is sheer nonsense, he said, come, you have written like this. Do you think that if you present like this, it will be better? Like that, each and every sentence he made us to rewrite. Then he said, go through that. If you find this is better, the other, do it. If you find that is better, you continue. So when that is the way of refining, how productive, when we say productive, we have no experience. So then when he went on doing this, then after some time, he also said, don't write. Don't write, go to the stenographer and dictate. No, sir, it's not possible. I am here, So the refinement, how does it come? Refinement brings out productivity. That's why we remember this. The journey through the text, that a harmonious, peaceful and productive life is possible when our thoughts, words and deeds undergo a conscious process of refinement before being expressed. Each chapter of the Gita contributes valuable insights into this transformative process. To begin this journey, we must first assess our current state of mind. Pathology, First we go and, what do you call that? Diagnosis. What is inside, first we should know, whether it is rooted in self-centeredness or has expanded beyond it. Only then can we start a path to fine-tune our minds toward the ideal of inner purification and self-mastery. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us that beyond the external activities of the body and mind, there exists an eternal indwelling reality, the immortal source of our life. It is by this Spirit's power that we function in every aspect of life, whether in the classroom or hospital or office or marketplace or factory or field or place of worship. This Spirit is the eternal seed from which all existence arises, expressing itself as life force, consciousness, intelligence. It has provided for all our fundamental needs through Mother Nature and enriched our lives with comforts through co-creations. Recognizing and surrendering to this indwelling power is the first and foremost step in the refining process. Thus, our thoughts, words, and actions must align with this higher truth. So, this is the purpose for which we have undertaken this. It should be very, very clear. Refining, refining, refining. More about it tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, sorry, correct. Day after tomorrow. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om. Hari Om to everybody. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Namaskar. Namaskar. Hari Om.